So let's talk about why working for yourself is the best way of living your life as opposed to working for a company. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why it's a better way of living. Alright, first to introduce myself, my name is Gareth Williams. You'll have spotted that I'm actually no longer 25 or even 30 or even 40. I've been working actually for 40 years now, and I've worked about 20 of those years for big blue chip organisations, and the other 20 I've worked for myself as a one-man band, if you like. I know which I prefer, and I'm going to take you through 5 reasons why I think it's better working for yourself these days than it is working for a company. So let's start with number 1. Number 1 is the first thing that comes to mind when you say you're working for yourself as an advantage, and that's control. You obviously have more control over your life as a one-person business, but it's worth saying actually that you can overemphasize this. Almost nobody has complete control over their life if they have to earn money. If you're not working for a firm, you'll be working for the bank manager, you'll be working for your family, you'll be working for your customers. One of those 3 never goes away. Most of the time it's all 3. So control is sometimes a bit overstated, but I do think there are more opportunities to exert control when you're working for yourself than when you're working for a big firm. So number 2, I'm going to go with life satisfaction. And what I mean by that is I get more of a kick now working for myself, mainly because I know that every single thing I have coming back into me in terms of benefits is a direct result of something I have done. So I can always say, my bank balance, I did that. That's what I did. I now live in the way I do. My house, my car, everything comes from the fact of my direct work. Sometimes if you work for a salary, you can sometimes say, well, I kind of know I did that. I mean, basically I showed up to work for 35, 40 hours a week and they paid me and that's what I did. But sometimes, in fact, sometimes I didn't deserve the money I was being paid when I was working for a big organisation. But I know now that I earn every single penny and it gives me much more satisfaction. So number 3, you can talk about in the same breath as number 1, maybe about control, but it's also flexibility. You have obligations to people, but how you discharge those obligations is entirely up to you. If you can do a job in 2 hours as opposed to 7 hours, great. You can then take the 5 hours off if you want. The flexibility to do your job is a huge benefit, and I don't think it can be underplayed. And for me, it's one of the major reasons why I work for myself. Number 4, this way of working I'm talking about, i.e. working for yourself, represents the way of the future for most people. Now that AI is with us, there are whole professions, there are whole jobs which are going to fall away over time as machine learning and the general ability to make intuitive steps gets given more and more to machines. Finance and accountancy, most of the roles in finance and accountancy, law, all of those sorts of things are going to go the way that industrial jobs did in the last great revolution when computers first came in the 1990s. So what are we going to be doing to distinguish ourselves from anybody else? Well, we'll be selling the one thing which a computer will never be able to replicate, and that's our own personality. That's how we do things. No computer can do what I do, Gareth Williams does, because I do it in a particular way. And having control over that and having the absolute ability to leverage that in a way that benefits me directly is going to be the way of the future. Everything else will fall away probably. That won't happen in terms of me doing my job, selling my personality. So having control over it through working for myself will be a great benefit. The last one is work-life balance. When you work for a big firm, they make a big play these days of giving you more control and more work-life balance. However, at the end of the day, you are answerable to the business. So your work-life balance always has an asterisk against it, or a caveat, which is, yes, your work-life balance is important, and we'll do our best to help you. But at the end of the day, if we ask you to do something and you don't do it, there's always the power to say, your bike. So I think that work-life balance actually is something that you have much more control over when you're a one-person business. You can choose. If the family is more important on any given day, you can take that day. You don't have to tell anybody you're going to do it. Yes, you'll lose the money you might otherwise have earned, but on that day it will be more important that you're with your family, or you have other obligations. If it's your child's birthday, you shouldn't have to ask anybody to take that time. And when you're working with or for somebody else, you have to ask, even if it's only out of courtesy, and even if it's just to hear them say, yes, of course, go ahead. You have to ask somebody. So work-life balance is something which a one-person business is always in control of, and for me, that's really... which of these is the biggest reason? I think they're all equally important, and they're not something which you have when you're working for a bigger firm. You might have it to some degree, but not to the extent that you have when you're a one-person business. And all this leads to the question of, well, I work for a big firm. How am I going to spin myself off into a one-person business? So this channel is going to be all about how you move from working for a big organisation into working for yourself in a one-person business. So this is called Go It Alone. This is the introductory video. In coming videos, I'm going to be taking us from working for a big business, working for the man, into working for yourself. So stick around, like and subscribe. More videos coming along very soon. Thanks.